Okay, so this is Avanti on the water in Jolly Harbour, Antigua. She's 49 feet overall length, that's 14.95 meters. Her beam is 7.35 meters and draft 1.5. She's got 4 cabins, each with its own separate toilet and shower facility. She's got a robust rig with fully battened and roached mainsail in a lazy bag and lazy jacks, Genoa, Jenica, and staysail, which can be rigged on the forestay. All the standing rigging was replaced less than a year ago and is good for, I'm told, 10 years continuous life. You can see a wind generator by Aerogen and numerous solar panels, and that gives us full autonomy without the necessity to go ashore to charge batteries. So, time to go on board. Both swing platforms have teak-laid decks. They're proper teak, screwed on and fixed, but not screwed through the hull. The swim ladders, there's one on either side, are housed in horizontal lockers, and when we have kids on board we use this polythene floating line. The port deck has the freshwater shower, so that's pretty nice for cleaning up after a refreshing swim. Port side is where you'll find the shore power cable inlet and bilge pump for the port side engine room. Starboard side there's a seawater pump and starboard side engine room manual pump. Both are operated by handles in the cockpit lockers. There's a total of 9 solar panels, mostly on the coach roof. Quite reasonable walkway from cockpit to the foredeck. Here are some of the panels, and they're different sizes, so difficult to know their exact rating, but I could dig it out and find it somewhere. Last year we had these sunscreens replaced. Unfortunately they stained rather badly, but I guess I'm going to have to take them off and jet wash them soon. Storage in the forward lockers is cavernous. I can step down and stand inside these lockers. On the port side I use it for rope store. I've got 2 big bulk bins in there, a spare gas cylinder, and it's really quite big, about 1.80 meter in length before the forepeak. I think I've got a clip of the starboard side where I keep the fenders. Yep, here's the fender locker, starboard side forward, and it's ginormous. There's the passerelle. After the mini forestay is another large locker where I keep long shorelines, the spare anchor, 60 meters of chain in that bin, 2 enormous football fenders, and the trysail, staysail, and it's a sweaty place, but I don't know why it doesn't leak, it just perspires. but it's a suitable central location for a heavy object like a dive compressor. The anchor chain's not in bad condition, and there's a new motor on the Lumar anchor winch, and there's 90 meters of chain marked out with coloured plastic markers and translated by this table. Spin lock clutches secure the Genoa and Jenica halyards here. You can also see the reefing pennants on the mast foot port side. There they are at the end of the boom. And aft, starboard side, the barbecue. One of my favourite ways of cooking. This locker under the seats on the aft part of the cockpit contains 2 spare fixed propellers, the control handle for the engine room fire extinguisher, my toolbox, soft diving gear, spare ropes, general rubbish, but it's not a clever place to put diving cylinders if they are steel, because this is where the compass lives. Beneath the cockpit sole is an enormous area of 3 lazarettes, each big enough for bulk bins. This is where I keep all my spare oils, charcoal barbecue, cleaning products and the like. Second one, center, contains an 8-man Zodiac life raft, which is out of date. Storage in the cockpit is completed by the gas locker. This is of course self-ventilating and contains not 1 but 2 20-kilo gas cylinders. Okay, so now let's go indoors. This is the forward port cabin, which we use as a guest cabin. The headlining, wall covering and panelling is all original. The varnish works really stood up to the test of time extremely well. 2 large lockers here, looking forward into the heads, Jabsco sea toilet and the shower sump. To your right you'll see cupboards beneath the sink and cupboards above for cosmetics and other things fronted to the mirror, which makes it very light and easy place for shaving and doing your makeup. I've just spent a very worthwhile 4 days replacing all the cupboard door hinges, and they were beginning to corrode, so it was a challenge to find replacements exactly the same as the original. Luckily enough we did so, and they're all now nicely installed. The bathroom furniture has stayed in good condition. Shower works. Emerging from the guest cabin, looking aft down the port hull. On your left hand side above is the second fridge, and below the freezer. Going aft to the aft cabin. Sorry about this, but we don't have guests on board. We just use white covers for the mattresses. Just turning around, here's our linen cupboard. Plenty of nice dry storage for towels and sheets. Up there is a 10-pack Sony CD player. And outboard, the ensuite bathroom that goes with this cabin. Again, it's a Jabsco pump and flush sea toilet with a new pump system installed last year. Okay, from the saloon down this 6 steps. Ahead of you is the day head. In the starboard hull on the left used to be a passage berth, and it's foreshortened to accommodate a washing machine, but is still plenty large enough for an infant cot. We tend to use this space for backpacks and the laundry basket and stuff that you can never find another place for. Starboard hull outboard has long hanging locker, floor to ceiling, so 2 meters high. There's plenty of headroom on this boat, by the way. I stand 189. Here's the washing machine, old Whirlpool model with a condensing dryer. It keeps on going, so we're not changing it yet. Above the washing machine is a locker containing the DVD player. We never use it, not since the TV screen gave up, and I must say I don't. Okay, forward, starboard, entering the so-called owner's cabin. Though quite how it's distinctive from any of the others, I don't know. It's exactly the same. Queen size berth, same size heads compartment, same number of cupboards, lights, everything's the same. Can't think of much to say about this, except that we've managed again to keep it looking bright and shiny. Wall coverings, ceiling, all in its original pristine condition. Okay, there's really good access to the engine compartment from above. Here's the fuel tank with the sender to the gauge. This is the electrical shut-off valve in the footlocker beneath the bunk, so it's easily accessible, as is the engine itself, because the hatch is about 1 meter square. Dedicated starter battery, nice clean engine compartment. It's the sort of thing I'm always looking for when I look at a boat. If there are leaks, I want to know where they're coming from. But this is all spick and span. The through-hull fittings just coming into view, the bronze, as they should be. That's the calorifier, fed by the port engine and by an immersion heater. And this is also something I'd like to see when I'm looking at a boat. Engine's done 200 and something hours since we last changed the oil. The oil should be full, it should be clean, as it is, and I'm happy with that. There shouldn't be any emulsion on the underside of the filler cap. Fingers crossed. Here we go, nice and clean. That's the way it ought to be. And the coolant should be properly diluted. It should always be a fluorescent green, some horrible colour, and definitely never rusty. So we're spot on there. Okay, we're in the starboard engine room. Here's the steering linkage to the starboard rudder. Nice robust structure, well lubricated, properly fastened. The 25 and 5 micron filters for the water maker, and the 3 membranes that give it a capacity of 200 litres per hour, which is more than sufficient for our needs. We fill up every 2 or 3 days. It's not running at the moment, so there's nothing showing on the gauges. A little bit of corrosion in the frame, but that doesn't affect its function. 647 hours on the clock, and it's been a a very reliable piece of kit. This is the stern end of the starboard engine, pretty much identical to the ports, and I thought I'd show you the after end. And this is the gearbox. This is the starboard side electrical distribution cupboard. There's one in the port as well. Each of these control boxes contains thermal cutouts for overload devices. They're fairly well explained and fairly easy to rectify should something go wrong. I freely admit that I'm no electrical wizard, but here are the control boxes for the solar panel system mounted beneath the nav station. It's always nice to see smiley face there. The charging system is functioning normally. Here is the incoming charging current from the external sources and the master volt battery monitor.